A Country of Long Winters by Bamberger. A black man once came to teach us how to dance, and all hell broke out. Where winter tracks of mother and father and child fall away into deep forest shadows, the promise of a new nation. Where dark figures dance against winter's hard fires to keep fear at bay, all of wilderness to wander. We choose to run the Indians up the Pemigwesset into the coups, dogging them into a season of starvation, got liquored up in the high country, the cool easing down into savagery, time of stray dogs and lean wolves, feared our shadows on the wall, knew only where we did not want to be, grew restless, traveled west among the towns beyond Kentucky outposts farther out, traveled up rivers where shadows shadow a man, where all gain is loss, the raw awareness of death constant, the children deep into their fears, nowhere to go but upriver, nothing to do but say nothing and keep moving. We came a long way on the pocket change of what he said, naked before the dream, eager to dance the watery circles that don't easily give up their speculations, wanting only to sing among the yellow reeds, bow to the aesthetic of the dry well. Crossed a cold land where rabbits circled back, set snares against the long short of our days, where shadowy birds swept low along the horizon, and we thought often of home, of sweet things carefully chosen to please, watched for clouds. We were told the land was ours for the taking, one dare call it a gift. Told we would, under God, be a people, a nation to be reckoned with. In back rooms it was whispered, give them their nation, we will always have their tongues. Soon, swift on the wing, a carrier pigeon, word came down, the land was taken, a nation born. 1861, the Navajo massacred at Fort Wingate. 1863, the Shoshone massacred at Bear River. 1864, the Cheyenne massacred at Sand Creek. 1864, the Navajo massacred at Canyon de Chelly. In 1867, the Cheyenne, the Sioux, the Arapaho massacred at Hayfield. In 1868, the Cheyenne massacred at Washita. At 1869, the Cheyenne massacred at Beecher Island. 1869, the Cheyenne, the Sioux massacred at Summit Springs. 1869, the only good Indian I ever saw was dead, General Philip Sheridan. 1872, the Madoc massacred at Lava Beds. 1877, the Nez Perce massacred at Big Hole. 1879, Frederick W. Pitkin, governor of Colorado, referred to the Ute Indians. My idea is that unless removed by the government, they must necessarily be exterminated. 1883, the U.S. Supreme Court decides the American Indian is an alien by birth. 1886, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. 1890, the Lakota massacred at Wounded Knee. The country was growing. As smoke trailed low toward the west out of towns, the need to distance oneself. The women in their silence understood. Questions cropped up, some lost faith. Heads rolled of the people, by the people, for the people. In the hollows, night fires burned. Night riders slumped drunk on swayback mounts, their coarse women of hard intent dancing with their hair shaken out, the night fires shadowing the hanged men. Soon they came from everywhere. For love of the nation took new names. For love of the nation quarried rock, worked the factories, fought the wars. For love of the nation gave over sons and daughters. The census scripted possibilities. But in the cities, the unsaid had at them. The streets, renamed after dark, had at them. The last bet laid down had at them. And keeping one eye to their backs, fearing the penalty severe, they had at each other. In the cities, they grubbed for longevity and died unresolved. Died down alleys strung out along the deafness of age. Died without benefit in the streets among the discarded in the crowd. died against the chatter of open windows, untold stories spilling down window ledges, died behind drawn shades, screams going unheard into the cold sweat of night, died face down among the many faceless others, died leaving little more than what they came with. The nation came of age in an age when men, criminal in their intent, small in aspect, made promises they never intended to keep. We needed their promises. But let there be no mythology of plenitude, no dogma of the unretracted. Or would you rather let it be? See how the thing turns out, slide on by. It being, after all, so brief a time to the settling of the thing. Or is it simply a matter of having no luck at all, as these men with their dark secret make themselves home in our house of plenty? One not need die to walk in the valley of shadows, as do the children left behind walk in the shadows of who the hell brung ya here anyway. Many left to go down after closing to where the homeless are at home, down to where the beggar asks nothing of you, down to where the drunk seeks clearly, down to where the shadow girls know they can never go home, down to where you keep it slow and work the dog on the prowl, down to where the unspoken spills into the dry space between each new insistence, down to where the golden light flashes of the sullen ingenuity of the pure meticulous, and rats on the move dream of tunnels opening to the sea. In a flash we have figured out the thing. It was gone. Only rumor and ease in our house of plenty. It has happened before. Dogs take to chasing their tails. Cats take to the alley. Children turn mean. And all of that talk, bringing it all back home, as though it were nothing more than a small indiscretion at the dinner table. But for want of a dream, one became the nation's apologist, its radical dress to kill. For want of a dream, one traveled the nation, its heavy-footed mimic, its swill eater, its fool repeater. For want of a dream, most became the nation's wasted disconnects, the nobodies of its tomorrows. And for want of a dream, we let it rise up among us, the lords of disproportion, the purveyors of gouge, and they seized the day. Now, a long winter nears, when birds fall screaming into blind, and he who once knew nothing of death will run cursing into the ease of death, and the mountains will roll, call the names of the forgotten. We never learned how to dance.